Question, can you repeat the three things that you...
What's your name and where are you from?
Oh, my name is Fajardo, and I'm from the Dominican Republic.
Great. What have you learned on this course about teaching and why is that relevant to you?
Well, what I have learned a lot of stuff actually. I had this thought that a teacher was like almighty person who knew everything about everything. So what I have learned is that actually a teacher is also a person and is someone that can make mistakes. But actually it is someone who needs to learn from their mistakes so that he can apply that new knowledge that he's getting from his mistakes on his classes and everything.
Great. What are a few important things that you have learned about teaching English in this course and why are they important to you?
Well, actually, if I say there are a few, I will be lying. I mean, we have a lot of things that you have learned in here, but I can point out like the frameworks, ACRIF and PDP, because let's see it this way. You do ACRIF when you want to learn new knowledge, because you encounter and you go all the process until you learn the knowledge. But PDP is like when you want to acquire more knowledge of the one that you know. So you do it with PDP. It is like you add knowledge to what you know already. So I think that one is something really good that you can apply everywhere, like inside the classroom, outside the classroom. Exactly how we read about with John, who it was, the one with the reading. So that guy.
Okay. Would you describe a moment from your teaching that has impacted and has you thinking about how to better serve learning?
Well, actually, yes, this is a moment I was teaching a class. I was doing a PDP. It was on the pre-stage. I actually was studying the class. I wanted to do modeling, so I asked one of the students to stand up. But I noticed that some students in the back of the room, they were having a conversation. And also, all the students, they were doing some other task. So I didn't want to call their attention like that, like, hey, can you please pay attention? Because I was thinking that will take them out of the right stage of mind. So what I wanted to do was to attract them with the modeling. So I continued with it. So the modeling was that was like something that happens in Japan. People in Japan, they crouch when they are waiting for a person, or they are in the metro station and they have a they feel comfortable that way. So we did that modeling. I wanted to do that without giving any instructions, and I didn't do it because I wanted to see the reaction of the students. And actually, the ones that were paying attention, they got a cool reaction because first I asked them if that is normal, how will they feel? And when I tell them that happened in Japan, that way they were like, "Whoa, you see?" So that one I think is a moment.
What happened in that moment that might have been helping or hindering learning?
Well, I think it was hindering because some of the students were not paying attention. How I said before, they were doing something in the class in the back, and also some others were writing something. Later I knew that they had a presentation. That's why they were doing that. But it was doing that hindering because they were not paying attention. And when the student is not doing that and he comes or they come back to the activity, they will start asking the other students like what's going on. So that will also interrupt the other student from paying attention, and you will get them out of the mood. So I think actually that hinders that they learn.
Wow. So what generalizations could you make from these interpretations?
Well, actually, what I can generalization is like, I mean, you need to try to get the attention of the students since the beginning. I mean, it's something that every teacher knows. Sometimes it is difficult because students coming back from whatever they're doing into the activity will maybe interrupt it. It will actually maybe disrupt all the students. So the interpretation will be you always have to get the students' attention at the beginning, always.
So, in conclusion, what have you learned about yourself as a teacher on this course so far?
Well, what I have learned as a teacher is that I thought I knew I was a good teacher. But when I came in here and I saw the trainers teaching, I realized that I don't know anything. I mean, I've been teaching for a long time. But what you're learning here is a lot of how to be a teacher. like how to be a helpful teacher, not also teaching center that you do all the talking. They teach you how to make students learn also by themselves and also observing. That is a beautiful thing to do because the job gets easier, and also you learn from the students too, from the way they behave and they share, and from the way they have like a community. Because when they're learning from each other, it's like a community.
Any closing thoughts or comments?
Well, and I've got to say that I'm really glad to be in this training because actually at the beginning I was not going to do it. A teacher from my university kind of forced me to do it. So I'm glad that it happened because in here this is a great experience. It is something I will remember forever, and it is something that's making me to be a better teacher, and also I'm sure it's going to make me be a better person in my life.